when I was coming up as a little girl, the Black church stood for something in the community.
It still does.
I was warned here because somebody called me, asked what the topic was for today, and I told them it was church hurt. So I went into my speech and they said, Tina, you sound a little bitter.
But however, maybe that's your truth. It's not that you're bitter, but that's your experience.
That is my experience. No, it's not even just my experience. What I'm looking at, when I was coming up as a little girl, the Black church stood for something in the community.
It still does. However, that's the point we're talking about today.
But the thing of it is, to me now, it's become more of a show and theatrics. They're not really pouring into. Now you're right. Some have, because I know your service.
You cannot make a blanket statement for all churches. You cannot.
But do you know? I looked up the statistics. There are more young people opting out of going to church or having anything to do with religion now.
It's unfortunate.
Our community.
Yeah.
So true. A church without youth is what? It's a dying church.
It absolutely is.
So what do you think the solution is? And really, I want to know, what are the churches? Are they teaching truth or are they preaching prosperity?
It depends on the church. It depends on the environment, and depends on who that pastor who is leading the flock. You can't that's just like saying all men are bad. You can't do that.
Some people might say they are,
but that's not true.
No, it's not true.
It's just not.
It's not true.
So that's why I'm saying you have to be very strategic and prayerful on what church you attend, what missions you're supporting. Does church hurt? It can. But should you stay at that church? That's the question.
This is the problem. People aren't, a lot of them, to me, in my opinion, and I've talked to quite a few, they are not separating the church from the person. They're not separating God from the person.
You mean the pastor?
The pastor.
And that's the problem.
Or, Sister Bertha that's sitting on that front seat with that big hat on every Sunday.
But listen, if they are focusing on the man, the preacher, their purpose is already wrong, because we should be focusing on God and what the word says. Right. And if that man is not delivering what the word says, then that should not be the church that you support.
But this is the thing. You have to remember that in some instances, you or that person may be the only example of God that person sees.
I understand.
If somebody's already coming in broken and the first thing they handed is a tithe and envelope, what good does it do you to get out of church on Sunday after the preacher went up there hooped and hollered and preached, pay your tithes, pay your 10%. He getting his Bentley and you walking to the bus stop.
See, again, it's about the church environment that you are a part of. If that is where you're going, ask where my tithe is going. What missions are we supporting? If you don't have a church that is identifying where those tithes and offerings are going, again, that's not the church for you.
I agree. There's some of these out here that I think it's just a cash cow.
And some are, but most, we can't say most.
I think a lot.
Some are.
Yeah, I'm agreeing that there are some people that I've seen some churches, they are true, what I consider to be true shepherds.
Absolutely.
And they're preaching the word. But you know what I've noticed? They don't get the shine. They don't get the shine. It's the ones that do the theatrics, put on the shows. I saw one recently where somebody was putting a cape over a pastor.
We present this robe to you and know that you are covered by the feminine spirit of God.
A cape, like a
That's for social media.
So basically, are you doing it for the Lord or are you doing it for the highlight reel?
That's the question that you need to ask.